There's something so special about just seeing all the class names on your roster. It's so exciting to me. Hi sweet friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maylene Call from Mrs. Call's Campers. Today I'm going to be setting up my class in Class Dojo with you. We're doing all things back to school prep right now. Thank you so much to Class Dojo for sponsoring this video. I thought I would bring you along and show you some really cool features that I use. I'm also going to be sharing examples of posts that I've made to kind of give you ideas to start your year. I give it as an easy guide for starting your class, so let's get started. You can use Class Dojo on your phone or computer, and I'm going to try to show you both. If you are brand new to Class Dojo, it is completely free and there's a ton of ways that you can use it in your classroom. My entire school is a Class Dojo school. We are all connected. Our principal posts to a school story, which is just a feed where parents can stay connected to things that are happening all over the school. But I am going to focus just on our personal use as a teacher. I do love all the goodies. They've got a toolkit with timers and group makers and all of these really well thought out tools. And I also wanted to mention that it is a very secure platform for you to post things that are happening in your classroom. It's not like a public feed. Only parents who have access to your class can see what you are putting in your classroom. You have private messaging, you have group messaging with parents. There's a ton of features that make this my most used app in a classroom. So let's set it up. So right from the home page, you can click Get Started as a teacher, and it's going to prompt you to put whatever email address. It does not have to be a school email address. It is very simple. There's no hoops to jump through. Once you make that simple account, you can connect to your school, and then once you connect to your school, you can also see what other teachers in your school are connected to Class Dojo. Whether you are on your desktop or in the app on your phone, there's going to be a plus sign with new class. At my school, they want us to put grade level and then our last name. If you have a co-teacher or an assistant, somebody who you want to be interacting on Class Dojo with the kids as well, so they can give and take points. Co-teachers can also message, and it'll be completely separate from your messages. They can't read your messages. At my school, everybody uses Class Dojo, even the specials or related arts teachers, so we add all of them as co-teachers. If the previous teacher used Class Dojo, it'll be really easy to add them in. You can just search for their name and it will already be in the directory. If your students have never been in the directory, all you have to do is type in their names. You can type the names in one by one. I'm just going to copy and paste my own student list because that's a lot faster. Next step is to connect with your families. Most of the students and families at my school are familiar with Dojo because we are a Class Dojo school. However, if they are new to our school in general and I can't get them connected before Meet the Teacher or the first day of school, I can send them a flyer. I can have a QR code for them to scan with the link that Class Dojo gives you, or you can just put in their phone number and it will send them an invite. Now we have our beautiful class. I'll show you a super quick overview of all of the tabs and the tools, and then we can customize. If you're on your computer, it'll look like tabs at the top, and if you are on the app on your phone, you'll see a ribbon at the bottom. I'm currently on the classroom, so you can see your students and how many Dojo points they have. Then we have the class story. This is where you're going to share posts with your families. We have messages. Once your families are connected, you can send messages to one family member or multiple family members in a group chat. You can make group chats for things like class parties that you need help with, and you can also send a broadcast to every family member that you have connected, and it'll form individual chats, so it won't be one big group message, but you can still get a message out. If you're on your computer, you'll see the portfolios tab, and if you are on your phone, all you need to do is click on the student and portfolio will be in the top right corner. I wanted to share a couple of the ways that I utilize Class Dojo because it is one of my favorite ways to build relationships with my students and their families. I'm going to put a few examples on screen just so you can see real examples of messages and the types of messages that you can send to your families. One thing I encourage families to do is to send photos. I can share them with the class and let the student kind of present, so if they did something that weekend, they can send a quick photo. Now for the class stories, this is something that every parent who's connected is going to see. So here's some posts that I've made during back to school time, just in case you need some ideas. So I always take group pictures. I'll show the parents the activities that we're doing, super quick pictures. So when it comes time for back to school, I'll post pictures and videos of me just kind of walking around the classroom as we're doing those fun back to school activities. Parents love seeing what their kids are up to, especially in those first few weeks of school. I usually always post something before Meet the teacher, letting them know that I'm excited to see them or to meet them. I post something following up after Meet the Teacher, any kind of broadcasts that you have. My students have also asked me to just take pictures of them during free time and post that on there. If you have a class project, I post all of those on there. It's a great place for you to post a class calendar or a newsletter if you do those. But I also like to keep individual families updated. I take photos of my students' work. So if they're turning things in, I can take a quick picture, or at the end of the day, I can go through, can add it into their individual portfolio, and you can kind of track progress over time. This is a really cool tip if you don't want to take papers home to grade. You can have them all in their portfolio. We'll also take random pictures of students working and just upload it to their portfolio, because parents get a lot of group pictures, but giving them individual pictures every now and then, especially during fun days or holiday parties, I found that they really appreciate that. I also like to take videos if students are presenting something. If you're working on something with your kids in small group, take a short video of that and let them know, hey, I'm going to send this to your parents. I'm going to go ahead and start adding students since we're doing this together. It's really cool because if students are already in the system, all you have to do is start typing in their name and I can see, oh, so-and-so was in so-and-so's class last year. I have been dying to add parents on Class Dojo. School starts next week. There's something so special about just seeing all the class names on your roster. It's so exciting to me. I would also love to know how many students you usually have in your class year to year. The lowest I've had so far has been 18. That was my very first year. I'm just going through and looking, and all of my parents are already connected to a Class Dojo account, which means they should get a notification. Our parents already know who their teacher is. In fact, I've already met some of my kids too, but now we can message. So let's send a message. Hello, families. I start my messages to families with hello, families, because it's, you know, very broad. Now that we are connected. Okay, here is the very first message, and we're gonna send it. If you're not sure what to say your very first time reaching out to parents, just let them know how you anticipate using Class Dojo this year, and let them know that you're looking forward to the school year. I am doing home visits this year, so I put some information about that in the message. But yeah, now we are officially ready to go. Surreal. It's been 5 minutes and I'm just staring, waiting for parents to see it. 4 views, and I've already gotten a message from one of my parents. So, connecting with families. Just like that. There's lots of other features that you can dig in here and play around with, but for the sake of time, I'm just gonna show you the toolkit. So if you're on your computer, it's a quick button at the bottom. I probably use the timer, the group maker, and the noise meter the most out of these tools. And if you're on your phone, up at the top, you'll see there's already a random button. If you kind of swipe over, you'll see a button that says more, and that's how you get to the toolkit from your phone. So something I like to do is if maybe we're taking a group bathroom break, I'll pull up my timer from my Class Dojo app super fast and pop it up. You could do the entire setup process in less than 2 minutes. It is super quick, but I am going to show you some of the things that I always set up prior to school. The first one is groups. If you're on your phone, you'll see a big plus button that says group. If you're on your computer, it looks like a little tab, and I like to add groups for boys and girls so I can really quickly give a point to, oh wow, all the girls are doing wonderful. You can make as many groups as you want, and you can add and delete them as necessary. Let's say maybe you have assigned seats at tables for students. Each table could have a separate group on Class Dojo, and you could give all of those students points really quickly. And to give points, you just click or tap on the student or group that you would like to give the points to. These are the default skills that Class Dojo just automatically imports for you. I'm going to change them to the skills that I use. If you're on your computer, you can press add skills, and then it'll kind of break it down into positive and needs work. Let's edit the positive ones together. So my first one is going to be acknowledging the speaker. So you could put in your school rules, whatever you have. These are just the ones that I like to use. One I use a lot is awesome attitude. It's a great way to encourage students. Participating, I do use that one. Following directions, being helpful. So you can kind of adjust these based on your style of teaching, which is wonderful. I really like having one that says self-correction. Strong choices. Something I always tell my students is be a leader. Another tip I have is to just add a point in there for a challenge point. If you have different challenges or ways students can earn dojo points. Now, when you head over to the Needs Work tab on your phone or on your computer, it gives you the option to share feedback with families. I share all of my points with families, but if you only wanted to share the positive ones, you could do that. If you don't want your families to see any of the points, you can totally turn that feature off. Okay, hopping over to my phone, if I click on John, you can see that it's already synced up. I'm gonna go over to the Needs Work and edit these skills. Needs Work, add a skill. It's gonna totally depend on you and how you teach, but I like to give very, very specific feedback, or I like to look back and see what I took the point for. So I'm gonna go ahead and add some skills in. For not working, I like to use the desk icon. I think I like this one for playing. I had strong choice for positive, but for the Needs Work, we're gonna go ahead and have a weak choice option with a little band-aid. There are some of my Needs Work skills, and I do think it is important to be as specific as you can if you are sharing these with parents, because they will get a notification if you choose, and it'll let them know exactly what's going on. I also want to show you really quickly, if John is not following directions, I can just tap that super quickly, and then I can add a note and say what was going on. Parents will be able to see that. The platform does look a little bit different on the parent side. If you go to the stories on your device, I'm gonna make a class story post just so I can show you really quickly. This is what your feed will look like, and the parents will see all of your posts here, and they'll get notifications for the points that their child is getting or losing. Let's go back into points because I wanna add a couple more. I learned last year to add skills that were 0 points just strictly for tracking. So the first one I want to do is a warning. So we're going to add 0 points, and I'm going to put the little cone icon. And this is really helpful because it signals to the parents, hey, I gave them a warning, and then they can see if there was a follow-up to that or if there wasn't. So as I go about this year, if it ever comes up with my families, I can add a skill in there for 0 points and use it as a way to track. So let's say today John was playing, he got a challenge point, he made a strong choice. You've given John a bunch of points. If you click on John's name and you hit profile, there's a little button there that says report. That will show every instance that you've given John a point, either today or the day before. You can go back and you can even see those little notes. So that's kind of how I use it for tracking. The parents can see this report as well. From your main classroom page, there's 3 dots in the top right corner. You're going to press edit students, and then here you can edit and change their little monster. The monsters are all so adorable. I like to use little plant icons to show that they are growing. So we're gonna start John as a little seed. Those are your basics for setting everything up. It is really, really easy to use once you get in there and play with it. Thanks for hanging out with me while I set up my class dojo. Let me know if there's anything that I can help you with down in the comments below. There's only so much I can go over in a short video, but I'm always happy to help. Make sure you like this video if it was helpful, subscribe and join our family down below, and I will see you in the next one.